some of the things that I brought back from my trip to Japan, which happened about 2 months ago now. I have this brochure and I have a few souvenirs as well that I also brought back just over to my right. So I thought we could just talk through them and just have a look at them. I know a lot of people, there's like a craze going on at the moment where loads of people are wanting to go to Japan, on TikTok and stuff, especially in the US. What I will say is, if you are thinking about going, I would highly recommend it. It's awesome. I would say, if you want to go to Arashiyama Shrine in Kyoto, go either early in the morning or late at night, or at sunset, because it gets super, super busy during the day, and you get packed into, narrow roads like sardines. So yeah, be careful of that. But yeah, what we have here, I thought I had another brochure as well, other than this one, but I can't find it, so maybe I left it in a hotel room or something, but I'm certain I had one. But anyway, this is Osaka Castle, like a brochure that you just get, when you walk in. You get handed one, or you can find them on podiums. Osaka Castle is like a very popular, landmark, I guess, tourist location. It's very, very, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful inside, and you can go on the grounds for free, or you can, inside the castle itself, there's a museum, and you can pay, I think it's 600 yen, which is about £3 or about $4, to go inside and have a look around. And then at the top and bottom floors of the museum there is a souvenir shop where you can buy little bits of curios and things like that. So let's open this up. I think it's mainly just a map of what's inside. So as I said, there's a shop, information counter, you can rent headphones, go on an audio tour. I'm not sure how many languages they do it in, but yeah. So top left here we'll read, the main tower of Osaka Castle stands tall against the sky at the centre of the extensive premises of the castle. The observation deck on the 8th floor commands a panoramic view of Osaka Castle Park and Osaka Plain, while the exhibition rooms showcase authentic historical artifacts. You can learn firsthand about the attractive features of castles, dramatic stories of warlords, and the interesting history of Osaka. So yeah, as it says, the observation deck on the 8th floor is like a balcony that runs all the way around the top of the castle, and you get a really good view of the city and the surroundings. It's very, very nice. It's very busy. A lot of people taking photos for Instagram and things like that, which is, a lot of places in Japan are like that at the moment. I'm not sure whether it's going to be like a craze and people are going to find another country to go to, but or whether it'll be, long lasting. But yeah, a lot of people stopping in the middle of roads and things to take pictures. So you can make your own mind up whether you think that's good or bad. But yeah, elevators, movie theatre. That's just like talking about little bits. We didn't actually go in the movie theatre because we had quite a busy day of seeing things. We didn't have much time, unfortunately. Okay. Second floor, Osaka Castle facts and figures, display panels, history at a glance. That's very cool. That exhibit, very striking. Shachi and Fukuko, Crouching Tigers. Experience wearing a samurai helmet and battle surcoats. Yes, you can pay 500 yen. There's like all of these helmets lined up, and you can put one on and coat as well. I didn't bother personally, as I say, we were pretty tight for time that day, and because we only spent 3 days in Osaka. I'd like to go back though because there's a bunch of stuff I didn't actually get to see, but yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. So you can pay 500 yen, again that's like maybe £2.50, $3.50, something like that. Hideyoshi Toyotomi, so this is a lot of the museum is dedicated to talking about Hideyoshi Toyotomi, sort of his life and battles he fought in and things like that. Some floors, as it says, have no photography. I guess it's stuff that they don't want. I don't know. There must be some reason for it, but obviously, you just sort of be respectful of that. And actually, to be fair, I was expecting people to be taking photos on that floor, but everyone was being pretty respectful when I was there. So there were a few people like close to touching things. Like obviously, all exhibits are like no touching, and there's a few people close. But I didn't see anyone breaking any rules, so yeah. But yeah, this was cool. The model, it's very detailed, like surprisingly detailed. So I'm guessing whoever made this, whenever that was, spent a long time making it because it's very, very good and very detailed. So yeah, the Golden Tea Room, we briefly poked our head around the door there. Again, we were pretty strapped for time. So as I said, a lot of it is about Hideyoshi Toyotomi, objects associated with him, other artifacts and records of the Sengoku era, and Osaka Castle are on display. So yeah, things about the reconstruction, Tokugawa shogunate. There's just various things like this, curios and different things. It's if you're a big history buff, which I'm not particularly, especially I'm not too caught up with Japanese history. This would be an awesome place for you to go if you're in any way interested in Japanese history. Then I would highly recommend Osaka Castle because it's full of things. My knowledge is pretty much whatever is in Total War Shogun 2, and that's about it. So yeah, folding screen illustrating the town of Osaka and the banks of the Yodo River. This is a letter written by Hideyoshi Toyotomi to Ohiroi, to his young son, later named Hideyori. Sorry, there's a bit of glare on. This is quite shiny. Portrait of Hideyoshi Toyotomi, painted by Mitsunobu Kano. Scenes from the Summer War in Osaka, folding screen. Yeah, this was pretty cool. This is like a whole around the floor exhibit where you sort of start in one area and it tells a story as you go around. I think it's this floor, and there's voiceovers happening and things like that, and there's a big mural of the war, which is I think this, and then if you go into one of the corners, there's like a screen, and it's like panning and flashing around the mural and telling you who is in what area and what significance they have to the story and all that kind of thing. So again, if this is something that interests you, then it would be a really cool experience. And again, more stuff about Hideyoshi Toyotomi. Was the person who built Osaka Castle, succeeded in unifying the entire nation. So, important person in Japanese history. Observation deck, so yeah, as I say, these are the kind of views you can get it's actually, you know, you would think something like this would be outside the city, but it's really not. It's quite central actually. It's very easy to get to. So yeah, it's busy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very busy. And I mean, we went in the winter time, which is not the most popular time for tourism. I think the most popular time is coming up, the springtime, when the cherry blossom season is happening. So I can imagine that during those times it's super, super, super busy. But yeah, I mean, it also means that flights are a lot more expensive, and because we have to come from so far from the UK, I think flights would have been over £1,000, which is like just a bit too much than I can afford at the moment. So we went in the winter. This is just information, and this was blank. This white box was blank. There's I guess like a station where you can stamp. So you have like the plastic thing with the engraving of this pattern. You sort of squash it in the ink. There's like a square of ink. You squash it in the ink. There must be a word for this, but you squash it in the ink and then you just stamp it on the castle, on the brochure. And I got a really good one. The very kind lady who was working at the station said that was the best one she'd seen all day. So so I must have done something right. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And actually, one of the things I have, I'm gonna try not to be too loud with this because but as you can see, Osaka Castle Museum Shop. It still has the tag on it, but yeah, it's a keychain, and I think it's a letter opener as well. So it's not sharp at all. Like, I could do this, but it works as a letter opener also. I did look up whether I was able to bring this back to the UK, and I was. So yeah, as I say, it's not sharp at all. Like, I can do this, and it's not even gonna hurt. But yeah, it works, as I say, as a letter opener. I'll just make sure I get that back in properly. But yeah, this was like, I don't know, maybe 800 yen or something like that, which is not a lot at all. And it has I don't know, it's just something to remember the place by, other than as I say, the brochure. So I'm going to put whatever I've looked at, I'm going to put up here. Let's move that. This was also from Osaka Castle, and it's just like I guess you tie it to something, and it's like a glass with Osaka Castle as like a 3D image inside it. I don't know what you would call it, but yeah, I think that just says Osaka. I know that says, those two say Osaka. I think it just says Castle or Castle Museum. I don't think it says anything about a 3D Storapu Horuda strap holder. Just flexing my very basic Japanese knowledge there. Yeah. So again, I mean, you know, it's nothing special, but it's just nice to have these things to remember your trip by, isn't it? I have this, which is my only proof that I went to the Great Buddha or the Daibutsu in Kamakura. This is quite a popular tourist destination. It's a little bit more out of the way. It's outside of Tokyo, maybe an hour drive, slightly more from Tokyo. You have to go past Yokohama, So, it does have a little bit on the back. The seated Buddha Amida Nyorai, known by the familiar name of the Kamakura Daibutsu, is the principal deity of Kotokuin Temple. It is a national treasure. Construction of the Daibutsu began in 1252 and continued for approximately 10 years. So yeah, it's big. Like that doesn't surprise me. It's like, I don't know how big it is. It might tell us on the back, but it's sizable and very, very impressive. I can imagine that they needed probably a lot of expert stonemasons to carve this, because I think it would have been carved. They probably got a huge block of stone and carved it by hand, which is crazy to me. The cost of construction, the Daibutsu were met by the priest Joko, who successfully persuaded members of the community to make the necessary donations. Among the records of the temple, the name of Hisatomo Tanji appears as a craftsman responsible for the crafting of the Daibutsu, and a man known as Goro Uemon Ono, who appears in the temple lore drop. But the designer of the original model and many other details surrounding the construction remain unknown to this day. It is thought that the hall which housed the Daibutsu was destroyed twice by strong winds in 1334 and in 1369. Records are not clear for the intervening period, but it was not rebuilt again after the 15th century. Oh yeah, here we go. Height including the pedestal, 13.4 meters. So that's obviously, pretty sizable. 121 tons weight at the bottom here. That's just crazy. But yeah, it's, as I say, it's quite a given that it is very out of the way, and you either need to get a train to Enoshima or rent a car if you're a tourist. Luckily, we met a friend who we met in the UK who had gone back to Japan and lived in just outside Tokyo, so we went and met him and he rented a car and we drove. It's very impressive, and it's one of those places I guess that makes you sort of reflect a little bit, just given the fact that this has been there for so long. How many different eras of society has this statue seen? Because was it 1252, and it was completed in 1262, so that is about 750 years old. Just over 763 years old this year. That has seen the world completely change around it. So yeah, I just think it's one of those places where you just think, oh wow, so much has happened that this statue has seen. So yeah, that's the Great Buddha of Kamakura. I think this ticket was like 1,000 yen, which is, I guess, a little pricey to see a statue, but it's one of those things, isn't it? Like, if you want to see it, you gotta pay it. So, this is the final thing I have. This is I think these are meant to be either put on your door or on the back bumper of your car. I got this from Enoshima, the actual island itself. So that's what's represented here. There's a road that takes you from the mainland. It's a bridge, takes you all the way over to Enoshima Island. It's not that long at all. And Enoshima Island is absolutely gorgeous. It's I actually had an out of body moment at one point. It was beautiful. there's like a trail all around the edge of the island. You can go up the hill to the top where the tower is there, which is what's sort of represented by that. I guess this was drawn by a child. And this is the famous train that you can get that goes along the coastline, and it's super busy. It's absolutely packed on that train. So as I say, we got a car. But yeah, you can go around the back of the island, and there's like some caves that you can go in. We didn't have time to go in the caves, unfortunately, because it's only one way in and one way out. So we had to go and walk back around the whole of the island to get back to where we parked the car, and then we had to go to Yokohama. So yeah, but Enoshima was probably, in terms of natural beauty, my favourite place on the whole trip. It was a place that I really wanted to go. I'd seen videos and pictures and things like that on social media and stuff, and we were unsure whether we were actually going to go at one point, but we managed to get it, fit it in, and I'm really glad that we did, because it was one of my favourite places in the whole trip. I'm not sure if there's anything on the back here. Keep Left Project. I can't read I can read probably like half of this, but some of the kanji I don't know, so it's difficult. But yeah, there's like where this tower is here, there's like a souvenir shop in the bottom floor of it, and you can pay. I can't remember how much it was. We didn't pay it again because we didn't really have much time. I can't remember how much it was, but you can pay a certain amount of money to go up to the top, and I think if couples go up there, or I can't remember if it's a couple goes up there and kisses, it's called the sea candle, and I think if you kiss your partner at the top of it, then like your love will last forever or something like that. That's like the legend, I guess, of it, and it's one of those places where you can find like love locks and things like that around. So it's a popular destination for couples and things. But like we saw like 2 school trips there as well. So like I guess it's a popular field trip destination for schools and things like that. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. I think if you go to Tokyo and you want to spend a day outside Tokyo anywhere, Enoshima is fantastic. And I can imagine when it's summer and the weather's, and it's hotter. Like we had a gorgeous day. It was like 14, 15 degrees Celsius, like full sun. It was gorgeous, but I can imagine if it's like mid-20s, in the sun, it's amazing. So yeah, would highly recommend Enoshima and the surroundings. And actually, the Great Buddha of Kamakura is super close to here, so you can. I don't know if you probably could walk. I don't know how long it would be, but it's literally like a 5-minute drive from Enoshima Island to the Great Buddha of Kamakura. So you can knock both of those out in one day, or in like half a day if you're strapped for time and you want to get as much done as possible. Then these two you should do together because they're super close. So yeah, there we have it. I have nothing else to show you. I did have a few other bits. Give me a second, I may have something else. Hang on. Okay, we're back. Here it is. I can't believe I forgot. Oh, sure. I think I've done a few Pokemon videos on this channel, maybe. I can't remember. But yeah, you may know that I'm a big Pokemon fan, and I got this from the Pokemon Center there you go, Pokemon Center is just like, I think it just means like stuffed, plushy. Mi Mijomaru. I guess Mijomaru might be the Japanese name for Oshawott. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, how cute, right? I think it was like, I don't know, maybe 1,500 yen, which is not a lot at all. I also got a gacha machine Psyduck. I think it was a Psyduck. Gacha machines are just like, they have these little sort of spherical oval shaped pods, and you can get one of like, say, 5 different, little toys from it, and it's completely random. You just put your, usually like 100 yen or 200 yen in, and spin the crank, and it drops it out, and then obviously you open it and see which one you got. And I got a Psyduck, so that's somewhere. I don't know where. It's super small, so it's probably at the bottom of my bag. But yeah, how adorable, right? It's actually really well made, very soft. I don't really have plushies, but I saw this little guy, and I couldn't not buy it. I think if there was a Piplup, I'd have bought a Piplup as well. But yeah, I mean, come on, guys, it's Oshawott. If you've watched the black and white anime, then you'll know exactly why I chose this guy. So yeah, with all of that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please drop a like and consider subscribing. I only like asking that at the end, because theoretically, if you have made it this far, you've enjoyed the video, so consider doing that if you haven't already. Thank you ever so much for watching. I should be back maybe 5 or 6 days time, hopefully with a map drawing video. It might also be something else, but I do want to do a map drawing video soon also. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed, hope you're staying safe, and I will see you